Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Welcome back to another episode of another pod. Do not relent. We're 1 week away from something happening in the World of Warcraft that's not the fucking shitty-ass Flame Radiance. I'm Slidewhistle.
Hello, is your boy Immunization here.
And it's me, Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire and Horde Punching Bag. And yes, everyone out there, the fantasy is not final, for the 14th has arrived. And I'm talking about Chicago's own fucking Leo the 14th, the new Pope. Let's go.
Hell yeah, baby. We were discussing amongst ourselves, potentially on our Discord, which you can go to by going to our Linktree at donotrelent.com. But what do you guys think? Has the Pope ever had Malort?
I think there's a very good chance he was an altar boy in Chicago. Altar boys and Malort, they can go hand in hand. You know, the nasty, cheap. Isn't that cheap? Maybe it was here back in the day when he was around, kicking around cans and alleyways.
Maybe that's going to be his first order of business, is he's going to raise his hand up on high and say, God said that the grapefruit stink water should be like $3 cheaper.
Fucking men. Now, how do you feel, Immune? I've heard rumors that he's a Southside boy, and he's not a Southside boy, but regardless, he's a White Sox fan, which means that God now hates the Tigers, right? How do you feel about that?
I thought you were the one that supposedly was all like, oh, I can root for both the Tigers and the White Sox. So now you understand?
What do you mean now I understand? What are you talking about? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a goddamn. I will back any team for whatever reason to make the game more entertaining. You are a legit Tigers fan. I can't say I'm an actual Tigers fan. I can name Damian Easley, Bobby Higginson, and that's it.
I really have only watched 2 Tigers games in the last year, honestly. I don't really follow baseball at all.
This man had baseball on when baseball was on television. You follow baseball more. Aaron, what do you think? You're a baseball head?
Yes, I am. I love the Oakland A's because in the 70s, they had a guy named Raleigh Fingers who had a big slick mustache and looked like he fingered a lot of ladies. He didn't look like he got a lot of sex, but tell you what, he was rounding second base quite often.
Is that real? Is that a real stat?
Raleigh Fingers?
Yeah, or did you make that up?
He does exist. He was there in the 70s. He was on the A's. I'm unfortunately, I'm fluctuating. I don't know if he fingered a lot of ladies.
I think honestly, we could kill at a Crunchy's obscure baseball trivia. You know, we got some weird facts up our sleeves.
Speaking of another strange fact, Leo 14, by the way, in his youth was a missionary in Peru and served as the bishop of Chiclayo. So I wondered if he was like, I love Chicago so much. I have to serve someplace that sounds kind of like it. Peruvians, do you have a place that sounds like it? I guess we do.
From Chicago to Chiclayo. That's our Leo. Isn't it weird that why is this my first time realizing? I guess, answer. I haven't really given a goddamn fuck about the Pope. I didn't realize they'd take on fake names. I don't know. I guess the numbers.
Did you think there was dudes named hey, it's me, Innocence, and here are my 13 other friends named Innocence?
Well, I haven't heard about Innocence until today. I didn't know that was a name. Pope's.
That's fair.
Everyone's talking about that fucking Pope show, and I'm like, does everybody watch the same shit at the same time?
Wait, what do you mean by the Pope show? Do you mean the live stream of people seeing if the chimney the smoke has turned white or black?
See, he doesn't know what the Pope show is either. He didn't know what the Pope show. Aaron, I'm sure you know the Pope show, right?
Of course. It's the sister series to The Dope Show, which I believe was a Marilyn Manson product.
That is a Marilyn Manson product, and not a bad music video and song. No, a conclave is the name of the show that everybody. It's I guess a show that does,
I believe that's a
show.
film.
It's a film.
I believe that is.
I didn't even know what the hell it was.
Film. Yes, Conclave. Everyone went and saw that this summer, and my guy's like, Popomania's reaching new heights. And he died. So he was like, "Thank you, filmmakers, for raising Popomania to untold heights."
Hey, if you like this random fucking banter that this is what we do at After Dark all the time, because this is what we do in general. So that's pretty much the show, and we do that for many more minutes. What, like times 2, times 15?
Times about 10, honestly.
Times 2, times 15. The shows go anywhere from 10 minutes to like 4 fucking hours.
Hey, that's patreon.com/do not relent. Check it out. We're going to be doing an episode right after this. We'll cover more. We're going to ask the real questions. Is Leo circumcised? Has he had a Chicago dog? I mean, space is like, the answer is clearly yes. But maybe I have a reasoning to why he wasn't.
Circumcised or had a Chicago dog?
Find out. Patreon.com/do not relent.
But now we have bills to pay, which is ironic because the Patreon's the one that costs money. But we got to go back to our day job, and we got to talk about the World of Warcraft. And boy, oh boy, Flames Radiance is working. I think the last time I reported on it, I said it wasn't. It's working for like 15 minutes each day, and then I leave.
So Slidewhistle and I participated in it for the first time yesterday, actually. Boy, oh boy, is it an event, I guess.
You don't even get to go around. The thing that I've seen people compare it to is like the Time Lost event from Dragonflight, where it's like run around in a circle and solve things, but like you're not even fighting different
people. Yeah, I lost a lot of time.
Yeah, you're not even fighting different people. You're not doing different events. You don't go in a time hole to fight a crazy alternative evil. It's just bugs.
Oh, you're saying people are comparing this to the invasions? Those are actually kind of fun in a way.
Yeah, like I forgot its specific name, but yeah, the Time Lost invasions. Also, you could do them, I feel like, frequently throughout the day. This one, you can do it over and over, but it doesn't really give you anything. So it's like, I'll just do that main event once per week, please.
Yeah, okay, so like I understand that they're working on the next 3 expansions at the same time, but please, can we whip out a new mechanic? Because I'm so sick of these, like, wait 45 minutes for the event to start and go walk around and just everything will die before you get there, and because everyone's doing it, because everyone has to wait. This shit sucks ass. I did one. I'm probably not gonna do another one. I don't care that much about the rewards to have to be like, oh, when do I have to go? Oh, the timer's not on. Oh, I'll wait and I'll just wait. Fuck that.
Yeah, and I guess people can't expect as much because it's like, it's a 0.5. It's a waiting on the phone kind of thing. But it's like white and purple recolors of the same set that I know you already have 4 versions of. And what the ultimate thing is, you get like a purple recolor of a cat mount that maybe costs 8k funny coins. Like if you're jonesing for a cat, you don't need to go through this. Just go to the lady in Merildar and she'll sell you one on the cheap.
Right?
Because like I was like, if you wanted to get all of the cosmetics associated with this, I got like one of the big coin things from doing you just confirmed it's a weekly event, and there were a lot of them. So I'm like, can you get more in some other way? I'll be so real with you. They also gave me like 4 repeatable quests, dailies, weeklies, I don't know. And I just was like, no, I don't feel like doing this. So I didn't.
So I got beef with those too. So yes, they give you 3, these are dailies, repeatable quests, kill guys in 3 different circles, and you get 100 rep for the rep. And you get a bag that contains a piece of armor for the purple set.
Oh, so that could like take care of some of the big coin things.
Well, that's the purple set. Then there's the white set, same exact costume, but it's in white and gray instead of purple and gray. And that you need the coin for. Or sometimes you can randomly get them. I don't know how. I've only done this 3 weeks, but I have 4 of them. So it's like, they might have slipped me one at some point. But my issue is that it takes place in Hollowfall, and it takes place in Azkahet, and that's it. So, 3rd day you're doing these, you roll in, it's the same thing you've done. 4th day, same thing. Like, I know we only have so many zones, and the bugs are only attacking so many zones, but can we at least change up where these things are? There are 6 quests that you can get through in 2 days.
I guess in a way, it unfortunately makes sense because, like, like from a lore perspective, the Sareki forces are we don't have a leader. We're not gonna go too far from our base, but also, what is our lore drop in? Like do we even like we know they're attacking, but like there's not a lot of like quest text about what's going on anymore, right? Like who's leading them? Why are they attacking?
No, there's no quest. All we got was the big buddy in the hood said, "Come over here," and then we did, and that was it. That's all we've gotten.
And then like my thing is, it's like, okay, like my dude, like we just literally like fought off like Sargeras, like we have done so much, and like I am not worried about these fucking rogue spiders. If we lose to rogue spiders, we deserve to die. So I'm like, I'm just gonna let people handle it who want to handle it, and I'm gonna take my champion ass somewhere else and not do this garbage.
So, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is like the flagship content of this patch, correct? That is insane.
Yeah, the whole thing is named after it. This is the like Hollow Fall patch.
And like again, like as Arian said, like you should not be expecting a lot from 0.5 patches, but I feel like this feels more 0.7 patch. This feels like a 0.7 because there's okay. So when Dream Surges came out for Dragonflight, I was like, okay, like I can tolerate this, like whatever, like I'm getting new things or whatever. But like this is the same event. It's just a Dream Surge minus a giant tree with less things that I don't have.
But also, when the Dream Surges came out, correct me if I'm wrong here, didn't that entire region drop? Like, the entire, like, new tree, all of the unlocking that entire zone?
Yeah, Dream Surges were looped in with the entirety of Yggdrasil. This is the equivalent of, like, the Big Dig or the Time invasions.
Yeah.
We're just out of nowhere. They're like, something else is happening in a place you know.
Well, I guess out of the ones that you just listed, this is by far the worst, because, like, the Time Invasion ones were actually kind of cool. Like, those are fine. Big Dig was bad, but, like, unassuming. This is worse. And, like, I mean, I guess maybe not. I don't know. Both this and the Big Dig are pretty bad in the sense that, like, they are just an additional something that has no consequence on anything, and I don't want to invest time to get the rewards because I don't care about them.
I will say, this is funny that I'm gonna say that I think Radiance Flame Radiance is worse than the Big Dig. I never did a Big Dig. I never did a Big Dig, and I did a Flames Radiance, and I think that the Flames Radiance is worse than the Big Dig. Big Dig has whimsy. Just the name alone. Big Dig, you got glasses guy out there. Flames Radiance just has, hello, I'm New Colteran Man from the Radiant people. And I'm like, okay, cool, here's your story, I'm reading it. What's next? Kill bugs. What? Okay. Every 45 minutes? That fucking sucks.
And I love how it's just, like, centered in this area to the far west of Hollowfall where they're like, ugh, there's some space over here, just throw it over there. And I don't know, like, if this open space was there before or if they added it for this, but either way, it's like, why was there this giant empty space over here? Was it just for this? So that begs to the question, were they planning for this shitty additional content from the beginning, or...
Yeah, I have no clue. I'm not sure.
All I know is I was flying around the other day, and this reminded me, has anyone done the Hollowfall Fishing Championship? I got a repeatable quest update, and I said, I thought I already did my 3 for the day. And it's like, come on, do the Fishing Championship. And I was like, that is a piece of content that I don't know. Other than Nuss on the first week of the expansion, I don't know anyone who has participated in this.
I did it for like 3 weeks. I will say, I think that has more content than Flames Radiance. Because there are actually some really unique rewards that aren't just fishing related, like toys and stuff, that comes from doing the fishing event every Saturday. I love a good calendar date. Like an Animal Crossing, show up for yoga at 5 a.m. at the big tree on Friday. You know what I mean? Like, I love that.
I love how you were, like, so close. You were like, time-based things like this fishing event. You mentioned Animal Crossing, but, like, they also have a fishing event on the weekends, on some weekends. But, or, like, I was even thinking about, like, the Pokemon Gold, like, go to, like, the giant park and catch bugs. Like, it's the same idea. I also really like those, but I also have not gone to Hollowfall to do that fishing contest yet. But I would be, honestly, you've maybe inspired me. I think I might do that instead of doing this Flame Radiance thing. And, like, okay, we might just be pissy because we know what they stole from us. Like, I want my fucking Arrow Knight title. Like, what the fuck? I mean, like, maybe this is on us for, like, trusting, like, or, like, digging too much into, like, the PTR or the data mining, because, like, we normally don't do that on this show, but I feel like, why have those titles there if you don't plan on incorporating them?
I've endured worse to get good rewards, right? I feel like I'm getting not so good rewards. Where do I check my progress in the Renown tab? I spent so long trying to figure out how I see what the rewards are in game that I couldn't find it because we're just on a grassy hill with random people, and I went to all of them, I think, and not one of them was like, here's your Renown progress. I really hope that this is just, they were like, guys, we're gonna just do a patch of laziness. That way we can work on other things because we're being hounded. Because, like, when this patch was made initially, there was still a lot of uncertainty, happening with, like, Microsoft and the merger and stuff, possibly. Because, like, when did the timeline for the merger is escaping me. But I'm hoping maybe that there's better things planned for the future. Am I missing something? Are we missing something? Let us know if, like, there's, like, some lore drops or there's some secret quests out there that I don't see. But it just seems like do this and now do the dailies. So confirmed, like, doing the invasion, that's a weekly? Is that what you said? Is that true? Or...
Yes, there's a repeatable quest that is a weekly that comes from the big guy. You can do the event, and I'm sure if you kill rares during it, they can drop bags that have points in them or have pieces of transmog armor in them. But I've redone it on a week that I already did the quest before. And one time it dropped equipment. One time it didn't do anything. It's just like, hey, thanks for playing for 15 minutes. Okay, see you later.
Yeah, so Aaron, I know that you're a guy that normally gets all these renowns done. What is the max? So you might know the answer to this. What is the max
10.
renown, and like how close
10.
are you already?
I am level 3. It goes to level 10. That said,
So it's like
do
one
the
a week?
weekly.
Is that like what it is ish?
Yeah, roughly, yeah. I do all 3 dailies every day, and then I do the weekly. And that's what I'm up to. I'll have to research to see if it is worth doing the every 45-minute quest thing. But at the same time, this is a rough time, Blizzard. Overwatch has content. Oblivion's coming out. Other games are happening. It's like, this is a bad time for you to pull this on me because I don't know if I'm willing to wait the 45 minutes each time now.
Yeah, they gotta be getting fucked because, like, I feel like the WoW Elder Scrolls crossover has got to be like 75%. Like it's fantasy, right? And that's what I was investing so much of my time into my beautiful Wood Elf boy, and then fucking Expedition 33 came out and ate Oblivion's lunch, and now it's eating WoW's lunch. And I'm like, you guys gotta introduce some shit to keep me going. The keys. We're going ham on keys. Let me tell you more about that later because I did pull up a Farming Flames Radiance Renown in the War Within guide. And the first step says, participate in the Nightfall scenario every hour. Bro, fuck me. I'm not doing that. But apparently you do get rep every hour for doing it.
Ugh. Well, I guess that's me now. I
Are you
gotta
going to be
set an
setting your
alarm.
big dig timer again?
No. Maybe this weekend. If I'm not doing it, but that's the same thing as. I guess if there's any game to do this with, it's Oblivion because you can just be like, okay, pause.
Right.
I'm gonna do something else for a little bit, but I don't wanna.
So then, like, I wonder, like, repeatable version of this invasion. I wonder what its rep gain is then compared to like the main one with the quest, like your 1 a week deal.
I'm trying to find it, but the guide also says daily quest, and then it says kill rares that give Flames Radiance rares every day. Is that a typo? That gives Flames Radiance rares every day? Did you fuck up on this fucking guide? Who wrote this? Was it fucking Naressa?
No. It's you kill a rare, and instead of looting him, he just goes, other guys show up. And it's like, okay. If you can get it going like long enough, it's like that one house from Pokemon. You kill a guy and he's like, "You'll never beat my dad." And then you kill him and it's like, "You'll never beat my grandma."
Dude, I love those houses. Those houses made me laugh so fucking much back in the day.
I forgot about that. What was the first one we got in like Ruby Sapphire?
Yeah, Ruby Sapphire, north of, I believe, Mawile Town or something like that. The electric gym leader. And you go by the lake and then you get fucked. You gotta sit there and fight evolutions of Graveler for like 15 minutes.
I think that started earlier, but you know what? I don't, because only reason I said that is because I famously stopped playing Ruby after I stole it from a church group early on. Check that for Patreon. Check it out.
Wow, great plug.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the renown rewards again, just to see if maybe something I want is sooner rather than later. Tabard number 1. We already got that, I think. Number 2 is a toy. I like toys. Mr. Mans.
You don't. You also, by the way, you do not get the toy. You get to purchase the toy for 5,000 fun money.
Fun money being the not
the crystals. The crystals. So maybe you guys have 1 million, but
yeah,
I'm spending them to buy mounts with other reps. So I'm like, I don't want to waste half of them right now on, I don't know, like you can shoot a fireball in front of you.
I realize I don't know the full name of the actual crystals. In my head, I call them not apethith crystals, and that's it.
Well, basically, I mean, I feel like every crystal from now on will just think apethith crystals, but like I think these ones are called resonant crystals, maybe.
That is true. That is very true. You're right. So Aaron says, Mr. Man's out. You're not buying Mr. Man's or the toy Entertainer's Flame.
You can buy them. I'm focusing my efforts to just get the big cat. The cat is the only thing I'm interested in. The mount, that is.
That's number 9. Okay, number 5 kills me. Number 5 is a tabard or whatever, and the title Sentry. I would love to know who's pining for the title Sentry. Like, does Sentry evoke good, positive names for you? Because for me, it invokes a grunt that I'm sending forward to go die, and if they live, alert me to what's happening after maybe they die.
Well, I mean, it's just very fitting for the people that are doing this event.
I guess, yeah. They're like, hey, look out for the spiders.
Oh, these spiders, and we don't know why they're here, and they're really weak, and they die before anyone else comes here. Like, who would be good to send to fight these sentries?
Okay, so you know how there's a Waffle House meter for how bad a storm is? Like, if Waffle House closes, you know a storm is bad, right?
Yeah, and I remember, like, back in, like, early COVID, that was the big thing. It's like, oh, this pandemic is serious because Waffle Houses are closing for it, but they didn't close for Hurricane Katrina.
Has there ever been a patch or an event that we have so negatively dumped on for such a low?
Oh no, I was just saying that like we have infamously been called Blizzard shills. So but like I will also say like we obviously aren't. We call out things that we think are not fun. I just feel like overall we are more so willing to be positive and give things a chance, but I don't fuck with this.
I think the other content will be fun. I don't think it will be on the same level as the Forbidden Isles. Time has rewritten many things, but I don't think we ever fucked with the Forbidden Isles.
We definitely dumped on the Forbidden Isles a lot, but I will say I did it all when it was current, which I think I've always said, if you don't like something, then don't fucking do it. Like, and the FOMO, fuck your FOMO. What are you missing out? You're missing out on torturing yourself. And I'm like, I don't give a shit about any of this. I gave a shit about the Forbidden Reach a little more than this.
Well, but also Forbidden Reach was part of the meta achievement. It had like its own individual achievement that gave you the title for the Forbidden. And like, I also spent a lot of time there too. I did all the shit on it. And I will say, looking back, compared to like the things that have come since it, the like tiered vault with like the fun ability, like I said fun, but like I should air quote fun abilities and things that were happening in there. It was at least unique, you know?
Unique is a great term to use because yeah, when you said fun, I was like, ooh, that's a word that we would not have used back. We were pissed at how bad jumping to those fucking platforms were.
Yeah, you know what? I'll say it. We are rewriting history because we have been tortured with everything of these similar patches since.
And I still hold out hope. I will not write off 11.1.5 just yet because Horrific Visions have the possibility to be like, oh, that's neat, going back. And the gruesome twosome
Yeah, the duos will be
ring,
fun, I feel like. So
It's just really weird, and we said it before, it's really weird that they are time gating and slow rolling it because you have this deep pit that a lot of people are falling into. If I wasn't so committed, I would just be like, I'll catch you at the next big number one.
Yeah, I stand by. I think they really fucked up not releasing any of the other mechanics or the things with this one. This one is nothing. Flames Radiance is nothing. Release it with the Visions or release it with the duos. But they're being stingy and they're hanging on to stuff to stretch it out, which obviously it's an MMO. We know when people get mad about that, that's what really pisses me off. We have some guildies and people who are like, well, they're just trying to extend the player user base to play them, make them play more hours. Yes, it's a game that never ends. Of course they fucking are.
And like our guildies say that as if like we as a collective guild didn't just get AOTC, like all of us, like yesterday. So like, I don't know, like if you want to like pack it up until the next major thing, like now's the time, you know. But I guess that's only 3 weeks into this Radiant Flame thing, so I don't know.
But yeah, I will say it's funny because like as much as I'm saying this, I feel like other aspects of WoW have really been delivering. I feel like the rating has been really, really good, and I've seen a lot of interesting from Delta Jobs. I'll just say it. They stopped rating Mythic because they weren't having fun with the raid tier, and I was like, wow, I think this is one of our. I don't want to say one of our best raid tiers in a while, but it's definitely not in the lower 60%. It's upper 40%. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a pretty good raid tier. Or do you disagree?
I don't know, like, as far as, like, mechanically, like, oh, this one is easier. I just know the theming. I prefer this one over Nerubar Palace. When we were going through Nerubar Palace, there'd be times where I'm like, ugh, blue. Like, I can't believe it's... I'm honor bound to be here, but I really wish I wasn't here right now, button.
I think I agree with you, and I think a lot of it is after we figured out that, like, when you're in the outer world portion before you go into the Galagio, that you could just zip around and go to kill all whichever of them whenever you want. I feel like it makes the replayability better.
This is interesting.
Yes, that's very true. They learned from it. You're not forced to pug all the way through the bosses now. After a single boss, you can really sort of make your own way.
This is interesting. I like Nerubar Palace. I like that we were getting it. I'm using a AU alternate universe. It's not really, but it kind of is a reality of the. Oh my god, what are they called? What are the bug people called?
Nerubians.
Yes, we're getting like what Nerubian. Like, that stuff interests me, because, like, I wasn't playing back in Lich King, so, like, it's cool to see, like, what could have been.
Oh, no, and I just want to set the record straight here. I liked Nerubar Palace as well. So I just want to say that, like, in my opinion, the War Within raiding experience has been very positive.
Yeah, I will say, I don't think Nerubar Palace is in my pantheon of raids, which I asked Immunization this question, and I think we should do an episode on this, like, maybe not now, because we need... This take us forever. I mean, or maybe we do. I don't know. Is this?
I was gonna say if you wanted, just fucking rip a DNR thought.
I'm just worried it would be so long because I feel like we have a lot to say about it, and there is some other stuff to talk about. But I mean, I'm down to do it.
Oh, we can talk about other things then.
Aaron, do you have off the top of your head like your pantheon of raids, like your favorite raids, or like your
yes?
Oh, fuck it. Let's DNR thought. Ugh.
Papa, tell us a story. Yes, Papa, a story.
How about you come and pull up a chair? These are DNR thoughts.
Basically, my thought is when you think of raiding, so like what is your Lich King? You know what I mean? How people talk about Lich King or people gush about Cataclysm 1?
Well, what's the name of the actual Lich King one?
ICC, Ice Crown Citadel, Firelands. What is the one that you are immediately like, oh yes?
This is fucking hilarious because I feel like the three of us are probably the only people, or maybe some late Draenor darlings like us, to say this. But just because of when we started, I feel like my pantheon. By this, do you mean like we can have like a select few of our favorite raids?
A pantheon is however many you think belong in the pantheon itself. Like, well, what's your number one? What are you placing in there, Aaron? What do you think? Like, what's the first spot you think of?
I mean, it's very boring, but the first time that I woke up and actually did anything was Uldir.
Oh,
Like, I'm not gonna say that it's my favorite, because I've said my favorite a million zillion times. But the first entry, the old god that has already hung his jersey in the rafters, is Uldir. And I don't think you're gonna get a lot of people talking about Uldir ever.
So I mean, when you say Uldir, I immediately I see the mother fight. I see the first boss who lives on top of the fucking building. I can't remember his name.
Wait, so is Uldir also the one with the Zool fight where like there are the
Yes.
ghosts going in towards the middle and then we go down past that?
Is Zool?
Yep, and then you open up a big hole. Yep, Zool's there. You fight Mace God. You go down the elevator. You fight Mother. You go to the ring and fight 3 booger creatures, 3 nasty creatures.
And then is this Gahani?
Yes, Zool's in the middle. You go down the hole and you fight the faceless one that took us 10,000 years. That's the real final boss. And then after that is Gahani.
Mithrax, yeah. No, yeah, I mean, this one was really good.
For me, it's when I woke up, because I started raiding an Emerald Nightmare, but I raided very shittily for maybe a month. Then I was gone during whatever happened next. And then I managed to come back in literally the final week of... Oh, wait, no, because then there was Antorus, and I was at Antorus. I just don't remember it. I just think I was still bad. Uldir was the first time that I had a computer. I knew what I was doing, and I felt like I could participate.
Also, there's a lot of good memories in Uldir. On Zekvos, I remember specifically I believe this is when we picked up that paladin, and
who was the second best person on that specific boss in Eastern
yes, also
North America.
And then what was her name? Because she was stalking her.
Oh, Kat was her name. Kat XJ. She was actually a listener of the podcast at some point. Well, she wasn't a listener. I think she discovered the podcast and then she reached out to us.
Hey, Kat, I remember doing this before. If you're still there, let us know. But I don't blame you if you're not. It's been a lot of time since last time we asked and now. But yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of great fights in Uldir. Because my brain automatically obviously goes to Hellfire Citadel, which we talk about forever and ever and ever.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say before we got distracted. The part where I was saying that the three of us in particular are probably one of the only people that would say this, but Hellfire Citadel has to be in the rafters, as Aaron said, for me, because it is the first time that we actually raided. All three of us were dog shit, but we tried. And it was the raid that was current when we got to max level and started realizing that raiding was an end game content thing. My first main really was my hunter, which I'm maining again now, which is nice, gone full circle. So I distinctly remember pugging on my own and trying to farm Manaroth because there was a bow that was dropped off of Manaroth that was Biss. Also being kicked because I was bad.
Yeah, I think that was a really good... We got lucky that was our first raid. Because it could have been any raid, right? But that was the raid... It's been called a great raid, fantastic raid, the best raid by people. But that's what got me to be I want to keep doing this. I want to keep doing raiding because we did it. We went from the beginning, we went from 0 to hero in quotes. We got carried by the Australian New Zealand man, but we got to see it from end to finish. Archie Monday was our first final raid boss. That's sick.
That is sick. But I think a lot of people have a negative thought of it because that last patch was fucking forever. So people were stuck on Hellfire Citadel for a long time. And then you have Emerald Nightmare, which is the first raid that we did with our guild. But I feel like I don't have that positive of a thought towards Emerald Nightmare because it was really hard for our guild in particular. And then I think it was so hard that like then all of us for varying different reasons just stopped raiding for a bit because like I know at least Slide and I did not. It's the only raid tier since we started playing that we didn't get like AOTC on. We didn't get it for like Trial of Valor, which is like the mini one, right?
Yeah, we fell off when we kept dying to the three-headed, to Guarm, the raid Guarm, and we were like, we're gonna check back in a while. And then they got Nighthold, and we were like, oh hey, we're back. Let's do it again.
Yeah, so they carried us through Nighthold AOTC, but like we didn't really have like a concept of the raid because we came in so late.
I feel like though, like in my pantheon is obviously have our Citadel, right? Done, sealed, delivered. We know that one. Tumor Sargeras is definitely up there, and I honestly think it's because of Hellfire Citadel, right? You have Archie Monday, evil leader of the Burning Legion. Who's the next person? Killed Jaden, his bro, his cousin, his what is it called? Eskimo sister, Eskimo lover. When they
Eskimo brother, probably.
Are they tunnel buddies?
Hey, we can't be too sure. We have to trifecta, you know.
Is that why Velen's so upset? Because he used to be in the middle of these two lovely gentlemen, and then they turned evil, and it's like, my holes, they ache, champion.
I think that's exactly what happened. That's what I'm trying to say.
Isn't one of them literally a son?
What?
No, that's
Rakesh.
Oh,
These are his
duh.
co-workers. God, he was going to work and getting double pork. Come on. That's as American as apple pie and baseball.
But the Kil'jaeden fight, I remember being so fucking brutal. But I liked it. I liked how hard it was. Oh, but I guess Aaron, that is Maiden of Vigilance.
No, like I said, I came back, but I wasn't logged on, specifically because our guild leader made me log off. But I beat Kil'jaeden on Heroic. I have AOTC for that one, and I don't know why. Because I felt like I came back like literally the final week.
I don't think it was like a raid set. I think it was just a week. I think it was just a single week that he was like,
oh yeah, no, I only got sat that 1 week. But I mean, like, I was dog shit at everything in that raid. I don't remember beating Kil'jaeden. I'm sure he threw me off with his little skateboard at the first opportunity he could, and then you guys just happened to beat it, and so I was like, cool, I get it too.
Honestly, Kil'jaeden is probably the boss fight that took our guild. Okay, so the numbers will say Sylvanas just because that fight was so fucking long, but like I think I have like a mental block on Kil'jaeden just because it was so hard for our guild, just with the whole like having to find things in the shadows, and it was just a lot to deal with. And like I think I was healing at this point, and I was like not good. I don't think I was like, so if we're talking about like our waking up moment, I honestly think I woke up and became like a competent like person in like honestly BFA, if I'm being honest.
BFA has some great raids too. I mean, there's a lot of good shit. And like you said, Aaron, that you don't remember Antorus. Oh, I remember the fuck out of Antorus. We got the Garathi Nippler. You got the two different dogs, right? Portal Keeper Hazabel, I remember specifically because we had to go to the fucking portals to the platforms, and that one took us a long time because of mechanics. Don't forget Tower Defense Boss. That one, please never do a Tower Defense Boss again.
I remember a lot of the introductory. Like, I remember slogging it out, but having fun for the first half, and I cannot remember the back half. Like, we as a guild beat, the Tower Defense Boss. I don't think I was there. Or even, like, I remember fighting Argus. I don't remember beating Argus, but I have AOTC, so we must have done it at some point. Like, it didn't stick with me as much. No raid I felt like I was actually dialed in for until BFA.
And I feel like this is part of the reason why Immune ascended and woke up, was because King Garoth was a part of this.
Leave the man alone.
He was Googling it.
Alone.
He Googled it. I didn't. He Googled it.
Well, because Slide has a list of the boss encounters from Antorus, and I saw right in the smack dab in the middle was King Garoth, and I was like, oh, and then I like Google it, and I'm like, oh no, that is the Nippler with the beams, and I will never beat these allegations on this podcast. They aren't even allegations, they were fucking true. I was dog shit and could not dodge a fucking frontal beam.
But also, after King Garoth, Varamathras, his voice lines, like him getting whipped by the Coven, iconic.
That was such a silly, funny boss, Varamathras. It's like, get just really next to each other. That was like the one mechanic, was it was like, if you think you're stacked on each other, stack even harder. For no particular reason, they made his operative range like 5 feet. He doesn't do anything. Maybe he'll send one. He'll put an AOE on one guy. They'll walk out into the shadows and then come back, and that's all you need to do. It was a palate cleanser before you had to fight Sisters of Pain, which I remember being a particularly annoying boss fight.
Yeah, the Coven gave us problems too. I will say another one for my Pantheon submission is Eternal Palace, the Jara raid. I really
that is
fucked
not
with.
one that is thought about a lot, but I can't say I dislike that one. Even the final boss that was annoying, I can't say I didn't have an enjoyable enough time.
The Lady Ashbane fight taking us a million pulls. The fucking swimming through the water, not being eaten by sharks and Blackwater Behemoth. Orgazoa. Oh my fucking. This raid was pain for us. Short-term pain. Soccer Boss, right? No. Soccer Boss was in
Nyalotha.
This is in Nyalotha, yeah, because that was the one where, again, I think that boss was centered around Ajara, but like that she was like a prisoner still at that point.
Controversial opinion, and people won't like me for it. I think Nyalotha both had too many bosses and too unmemorable of bosses. I went to Nyalotha because I was getting paid to do so, not because I wanted to do so.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is very true. Like, the Raytheon fight, I don't even remember what that was. Mott, I remember it being cool that we're fighting one of the big winged, four-legged lion bird people, because those were iconic in, like, classic WoW during, like, the original Cthulhu fight, but I don't know.
When you went down, like, the spiraling hole, it was just spaghetti at the wall. Shadthar, fight a dog. Drexagath, fight a tentacle. It's like any mob that you had seen, they're like, make it big, put it in the hole, and they'll fight it. They have to kill like 17 guys before they can get to Big Buff Daddy Il'gynoth.
Yeah, and then after you fight Big Daddy, Buff Daddy, Il'gynoth, then you fight the literal hole itself as like the Carapace of N'Zoth, and then you face N'Zoth, and then you have like at the end of that
N'Zoth. I forgot that was even a thing. Yeah, you fought his butthole, and then you went in and you fought like his taint,
you fought
like his
hole.
G-spot.
I think you're convincing me the other way. Okay, so there's so many bosses, right? But because there's so many bosses, I can forget half of them, and then remember the other half and be like, I can see the Vexiona room. I can see the fucking Drestagath pain that we're going through to fucking kill this goddamn fucking ass.
The two mean bugs, Little Bug and Big Bug. I don't even remember their names. I remember they were annoying, but it's like, it's just anything was going on in there.
Undermine might go in there. I mean, like, it's a really good themed raid.
It's too early to say, I would say. But I have one last entrant that like I'm very confident about, and it is Castle Nathria. It has to be in my pantheon. I just love it. I love it aesthetically. I love all the bosses. I played the shit out of it. It was probably like the peak COVID. I was playing a lot of WoW and was raiding a lot. I just had a lot of fun in there, and I think it's the most mythic bosses I killed too, just like with Dogs with Chops or Pugging or otherwise. So like I feel like it was just like peak raiding experience for me.
I wish I could say that I loved all of the Denathrius fight. As soon as we went into the floor and we were doing weird jumps to fight guys on platforms and it was splattering your balls. That was fun. I would never willingly do that bit where you have to get the ghost smacked out of you and at the beginning ever again. You could not pay me to go back there and do that.
I think I might be putting all 3 Shadowlands raids in my pantheon. Like, it's kind of weird to say because Sylvanas has like tortured me.
I don't like Sadis.
But
I don't like any Asadis. Sorry. Once again, went there because it was my job.
Also, I want to address what Aaron said about like the basement level of the Denathrius fight. I think I was thankful because it was so bugged as shit for BM Hunter that like with our guild, I was just included as melee because like the pets could just not deal with going over to those side things, so I just didn't have to.
But Slidewhistle, you said all three are in your top. Nathria, doing good. Pitch me on the other two, because the other two,
Part of it might just be because I was on my Pharaoh Druid at the time, and I had that weapon whose name escapes me, sitting in void storage, all three forms, and
the one that turned you into a big lady.
Yes. And I like, I mean, again, I also mythic rated the first handful of bosses, 3 bosses, 2 bosses on these. The only one that I really have beat with is Fate Scribe, Rocalo, and Sylvanas. Those are the 2 where I was like, I don't want to fucking Kel'Thuzad. But I love Kel'Thuzad. Like, I love Kel'Thuzad. And honestly, I love him because of Hearthstone. So I have this weird, like, Kel'Thuzad, you got me into World of Warcraft kind of vibe with him because of how funny he was and he has a kitty. I just, like, I think he's a great character when he's, like, humorous.
That's true. And like I did appreciate how this expansion even, right? We had a little like cameo from him in the Kirin Tor side questing when they were like, remember when you got like locked in an amulet with him for a second? But also side tangent, it is Yattinger, Destiny's Call.
Younger.
God damn, that's great. I was scrolling through the social media for so long because I was like, I know I made a meme about it as I was just blistering past 2 past expansions, and I landed on it right as you said it. I was like, no, my work.
I think it might just be an hour spent inside of a raid. I think it might just be a Stockholm syndrome. I was in here a lot, and I can see, like, the Terror fight, I love how unique that fight is as an intro fight. Get your powers, but also hope your teammates pick the right one.
I feel like overall, this raid was just too painful. Pun intended. Painsmith was a cool fight, though. I that's probably, like, my favorite fight in that entire raid, just because I feel like it's unique, and it was fun to prog on. Fun, I guess, is relative.
I think for me, it's because on my Pharaoh Druid, I felt powerful because my bleeds are so good on so many of these fights where either you're running away from Fate Scribe or you're running towards Sylvanas or running away from ads. You're running away from like everything. It's all speed and bleeds. Even looking at Sepultura, the first ones, it's kind of similar. I mean, Zymox, Desogni, fucking, we fight Anduin. You ever think about how weird that is that we fought Anduin in hand-to-hand combat? Like, that's kind of crazy.
I mean, he's never been the same ever since.
He had to fight us. Can't blame him.
He tangled with the best. Now he needs to deal with the rest of his fucking life.
Tell him.
Also, I will say, even though he was very annoying, when Halandris would bust ass and you had to just sprint, you had to run to catch him, I did like that. I didn't like when we had to do it on Sylvanas. I did like it on Halandris because he was slow and he wasn't throwing a lot of things. So it was just Growlina doing the whirly bird, hitting him with scorches as she was just like desperately trying to make it to the second round.
Like, please, I'm coming. Yeah, I just think a lot of it is time spent. That's got to be what it is, which is weird. I mean, because like the jailer fight, I only remember him turning into a robot at the end, and then like the fucking holes you fall in.
I feel like there are definitely raid tiers that are plagued with the end cinematic, because like that's all we'll think about, and like that is what Slide just said with like the jailer, and honestly, it's kind of Sarkareth too in some ways. But then the main one is the N'Zoth one with like the I'm a fire on my giant laser beam that everyone memes the shit out of, rightfully so, honestly.
Jailer to me was annoying because it wasn't even mechanics. Like, it's like, these are tough mechanics. We can't really get our head on it. It's just like, he would hit too hard. Like, it's like, you all need to stand in front of Azeroth and hit this one. And then it would do 90% of your health. And it's like, but for why? Like, if I'm standing in the right place and we're doing the right thing, I don't think your attack should be doing all of my health.
Do a little less.
Yeah, like, it's one thing if it's like, you weren't behind a pillar, so I mind controlled you. That's like, beans, I didn't get the mechanic. But it's like, if I'm doing everything right, you shouldn't be killing me.
I forgot.
That's what I'm saying.
Fucking mind controls. God, that fight really had a lot going on. But it also makes me think, A lot of the things that I like in Shadowlands, like the boss designs, the mob designs of just like random mobs, I feel like the French who made Expedition 33 were raiding during Shadowlands. A lot of the enemies look very Shadowlandsy. I'm pretty sure I just killed Pokepoke the other day.
Yeah, I feel like this is definitely something that we should dive into in After Dark. So to wrap up this DNR thought, I feel like that I've named all of my pantheon so far in this discussion, and I've agreed with the ones that y'all have said. Okay, disclaimer for the newer listeners: we are Draenor darlings. We started at the end of Draenor, so we've rated since then. So we don't really have like the nostalgia or rating at current for anything prior to that. So I don't really. I mean, like, I feel like all the classics I probably would have enjoyed if I rated them, like your Nexramus, your Black Temple, etc. But I don't know. I just can't really say anything about it.
We have got some. That's 55 minutes in. Holy shit! Was that our longest DNR thought ever?
We had a lot to say. We had a lot of thoughts.
Okay, we'll just do this real quick. So, patch 11.17 already shaping up to be bigger than what we've gotten so far because the fucking Turbulent Timeways achievement is coming. Wait, we can still get the current one? The last one?
What? Why? Why? I earn my B by being just randomly still logged on. I don't want you bums getting my beetle.
It says with this achievement, Master of the Turbulent Timeways 3, the current Master of the Turbulent Timeways 2 achievement will become unobtainable. Wait, so you're saying it still is obtainable if time walking is up?
I don't think so. I guess I really don't know.
Otherwise, it would have been unobtainable already. So that maybe you were able to still do it if time walking was up. No one fucking told me that.
I mean, I think I got it. I mean,
we for
I'm
sure
pretty
got
sure.
it.
I think all three of us got two, but like only Aaron got one, I think.
But basically, all this to say, they're adding BFA time walking, which is fantastic. A new crop. We got a Taldazar. We got Freehold. Hope you're ready to walk on that fucking straight line past the pirates. King's Rest, Shrine of the Storm. Oh boy, Temple of Sethralis, and Wakecrest Manor.
King's Rest is going there.
Honors is hooting and hollering over King's Rest being added.
I don't know if I ever did King's Rest the first time. I'm actually going to be learning. And they're supposedly making these things difficult again. I'm going to have to excuse myself. Sorry, guys. I'm not a King's Rest lady.
Yeah, King's Rest was hard. I mean, it wasn't hard. It was just because we never did it. And I feel like it never came up. And it was more horror-centric for some reason. I don't know why. Anyone could have done anything. But we're also getting a new mount with this. And it's our Captain's a Dragon mount. It's a pirate dragon, the Chrono Corsair. So that's that you get the fucking pirate dragon from doing Masters of Timeways 3.
I'm like 95% certain that there is audio of this podcast from back in BFA of us talking about how that model needed to be a mount that we could ride. So here we are, approximately 7 years later getting it?
Find that shit and post it.
God is good. Thank you, Leo14, for giving us this.
Thank you, Leo. Leo, lead us into our top toot, bottom boot, medium moot. I appoint Slidewhistle to go first. Thanks, Leo.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, was that self-appointed?
It's Leo. He stopped by. He talked in his heavenly altar boy voice. He sang us his falsetto. Is that an altar voice? I don't know what this fucking...
Yes.
Well, because they're children,
I don't fucking-
probably.
They're tenors. What's a tenor? Is that deep?
A tenor is high. That is a higher masculine sound.
What was that?
Probably falsetto.
Wow, I'm an altar boy. So I got a big fat top two. It's cop out week. That's right. AOTC for both groups has been achieved, which means next Tuesday, Brodsky's drawing of lottery money has being meet. We're gonna figure out who wins the raffle for 2 million gold and some change. I don't remember what the change is.
It's like 2.5 million, basically. The prize is.
Hubba hubba. Place your bets. Let's bet on who's gonna win.
Slidewhistle has a theory that Cat is going to win it.
I do think that good things happen to bad people. Just like my mean grandma will live, she will far outlive me. So I believe it.
I mean, I again, we said last week, I'm pulling for Old Man Drew to win. I think he's got this in the bag. He has one singular ticket put into the pot of many, many hundreds of tickets.
Realistically, statistically, Slidewhistle should probably win it. I think he has by far the most tickets.
I don't think I do. I think I'm like third on the list of tickets.
Who's putting more?
Broski's putting a lot. Kojak's putting a lot too by accident. He said he didn't mean to spend that much, but he forgot to do the math on how many tickets was how much. So he did a lot. But if I win, I'll probably just put like half of it back in the guild bank and take out my like 1.3 milli. And that's, why not? Because like I don't want to have to fucking fill up the guild bank again.
No, I mean honestly, the whole point of this was to give us guild repairs, fund the guild bank. It was a great idea, Brodsky. So I feel like it is wildly successful. People are into it. So I mean, obviously our guild loves gambling. So
Yeah, my gambling money, I'm up like 790K. Like I got the cash flow. Cha-ching! Thanks, Leo. Leo, throw it to who you think is next. Oh, I think next should be the second holiest of the Aaron. What do you think?
No, I got set on fire. Sorry. God already said that I was not holy. I'm going to pass it to Immune.
this is true. Also, your parents said you're going to hell. So
That's true. To win a game of Cadoodle or whatever, my father sent me to the fires of Hades.
Hell.
well, let's see. I have a top 2 as well. And it is that, like, all since we've recorded last, I have gotten whatever the achievement is for getting 3K rating on my hunter.
Keystone Legend. I was there. I got it too. I forgot.
Yeah, so that was huge. But then I also got... Okay, so I think we already had AOTC last week, right? But I got AOTC on my priest randomly by joining... Okay, so here's the weird-ass shit. Maybe we've talked about this in the past. One of my current pet peeves in World of Warcraft in the group finder is when people put, like, fresh in the title, right? Because, like, I feel like that means you're starting from the beginning and going as far as you can. But I feel like you shouldn't have fresh in the title anymore if you're literally on Gallywix. Why does it say fresh still? Because I needed vault slots on my priest. And I was invited to this group, and I get summoned, and they're fucking at heroic Gallywix. I'm like, this is the complete opposite of fresh. You're on the last fucking boss.
You didn't check the lockout?
That's the thing. The lockout did not say that they were on Gallywix. The lockout said that they had killed Vexy and Carnage. So I was like, oh, cool. That's fine.
That is the most trifling group I've ever seen. You don't do that.
No, so first off, I'm like, why are you inviting my priest to a heroic Gallywix kill? And I say kill because they pulled it 3 times. On our 3rd pull, we killed it. And I'm like, this is with a fucking pug. So I'm like, I guess I have AOTC on my priest now. And inadvertently, I just wanted a few vault slots. And then ironically, I like didn't get a second vault slot because then I just ran out of time for the week. So felt like I got AOTC. So like that was cool.
A little trade-off, a little give and take,
Yeah, but my top 2 is getting Keystone Legend and AOTC on both my mains. So it's a successful week. But Aaron, what do you got?
Well, I have a quick top toot as well to make this a nice triple toot.
Triple toot.
Oh, Aaron has a top 2.
And it is that now that I have upgraded both my cape and my fancy staff, all of the gilded crests that I earn can actually be put towards upgrading things past 4 out of 6. And so I've started to do so, and gosh golly gee, that sounds good. I got the achievement for doing so, which felt nice. I was definitely the last one to cross the finish line there. Now, killing Muggsy and killing Gallywix actually helps me out, and I get to upgrade my little gear. 666, I'm coming for you.
Nice.
You're gonna be one of Gary's chosen Satanists.
So it was foretold by your own father during a Thanksgiving game of Cadoodle.
No!
You sold your soul that day inadvertently / advertently.
I was gonna say it
Very
very much
deliberately.
so deliberately.
He made sure to explain it at length at the table immediately following. Despite my reassurances that was like, no, I get it. It's funny. I get it. I still get extra Christmas gifts because of it. And speaking of Christmas gifts, here are these lovely gift givers in our community. I'm talking about our patrons, whose name include Ahoy Vince, Azrin, Digital Dave, asking Growlina to say, for the Horde. Miskit the Orchid Orc, Mitch, who wants to remind everyone that Rathion isn't daddy, he's a literal child. Crucifix, Alternator, Saracen Hawk, Justin, give me back my PhD Arcane, Remy, I'm still standing better than I ever did. Kick Puncher, Baba Booey McGee, Sugar Bear,
Time is money, friend.
Dr. Foster Grumpy Old Shaman, Jerome, Ali, Adorno, Losing the Patient, Gershy's going to East
Get yourself
Hills,
an outfit.
Duff the Horde Pooper Cooper, Calcus,
They took our jibs.
Cilantro, Adam N. Vanderlyle says, fuck fanatics, fuck the people that own Giant Bomb. That was the background of why he made me say it. And Will, aka Tire, Trade Chat's fallen father.
If you want to join them, you already know where to go. If you don't know where to go to donotrelentless.com. There's a Linktree there. What about you guys? Where are you at?
Well, you can find me, Alex or Immunization, on Twitter at New Era Alex or on Blue Sky at Immunization.
You can find me, Aaron the Human, at thebigocheesy on twitters.com and watch me play Vigigrams at twitch.tv/AaronDNR. I'll be playing something. Check it out.
Ho, ho, ho! Pope Leo of Chicago Dogs has deemed this podcast closed. I'm holding out the donation basket. Please put $5 to $10 in the basket.
Ain't that just like a guy from Chicago out here asking me money while I'm just trying to sit on the train?
Take my beads. Take my beads. Grab them. Come on, grab the beads. All right, see ya.
Another down. Do not relent.
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.